Bow. Good morning, Sangha. You didn't hear the 27 bells because I forgot to put the mic on. Okay, so we'll go to our rituals and practice, which is in the chat. Page 7, we'll do the 3 refuges. I go for refuge to Buddha, my deeply awakened mind, the living source of understanding and compassion, which must be cultivated to be known fully. I go for refuge to Dharma, the path of mindful living, leading to healing, joy, and enlightenment, the way of peace, which must be cultivated to be known fully. I go for refuge to the Sangha, the loving and supportive community of practice, realizing harmony, awareness, and liberation, which must be cultivated to be known fully. I am aware that the 3 jewels are within my heart. I vow to realize them. I vow to understand living beings and their suffering. I vow to cultivate loving kindness and compassion and to practice joy and equanimity. I vow to live simply and sanely, content with few possessions, and to keep my body healthy. I vow to let go of all worry and anxiety in order to be light and free. I am aware that I owe so much to my parents, teachers, friends, and all beings. I vow to be worthy of their trust, to practice wholeheartedly, so that understanding and compassion will flower, and I can help living beings be free from their suffering. May the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha support my efforts. May the Buddha support my efforts. May the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha support my efforts. We bow. And we turn to the Heart Sutra. Because of the virus, COVID, I will not chant it. I will just read it. The Mahaprajna Paramita Hridaya Sutra. The Bodhisattva of great compassion, from the deep practice of Prajna Paramita, perceived the emptiness of all 5 skandhas and delivered all beings from their suffering. O Shariputra, form is no other than emptiness, emptiness no other than form. Form is emptiness, emptiness form. The same is true of feeling, thought, impulse, and consciousness. O Shariputra, all dharmas are empty. They are not born nor annihilated. They are not defiled nor immaculate. They do not increase nor decrease. So in emptiness, no form, no feeling, no thought, no impulse, no consciousness. No eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. No form, sound, smell, taste, touch, or objects of mind. No realm of sight, no realm of consciousness. No ignorance, nor extinction of ignorance. No old age and death, nor extinction of them. No suffering, no cause of suffering, no cease from suffering, no path to lead out of suffering. No knowledge, no attainment, no realization, for there is nothing to attain. The Bodhisattva holds on to nothing but Prajna Paramita. Therefore, the mind is clear of any delusive hindrance. Without hindrance, there is no fear. Away from all perverted views, one reaches final nirvana. All Buddhas of past, present, and future, through faith in prajna paramita, attain to the highest perfect enlightenment. Know then, the prajna paramita is the great Dharani, the radiant, peerless mantra, the utmost supreme mantra, which is capable of allaying all pain. This is true beyond all doubt. Proclaim now the highest wisdom, the prajna paramita. Gate, gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhisvaha. Gate, gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhisvaha. Gate, gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhisvaha. The Maha Prajna Paramita Hridaya Sutra. We bow. Today is a very special day for our Sangha. Today is the day the preceptors graduate. They started in September. And unfortunately, one of the preceptors is not here due to a family illness. But we're thinking of you and we see you here, Therese. And we'll be doing a private ceremony later this month. So the preceptors did 2,000 prostrations. They meditated for 30 minutes every day and kept a practice journal. They memorized the atonement, reflection, and studied the Dharma Pada, which is translated to Path of the Dharma. The Dhammapada is a very interesting book. It summarizes basically all of Buddha's basic teachings. It's said that if everything else was gone away, all the sutras, everything else, and we just had the Dhammapada, it would be enough to awake. So it's a very important document, and it's why preceptors make a commitment to follow the Buddhist path. This is the book we go from. There's no blind faith in Buddhism. Faith is in yourself, but it's not the fearful self filled with anger, greed, and delusion. It's the faith that you have Buddha nature. All of us, everything has Buddha nature. Buddha says, challenges us to study and see if it works for us. Buddhism is not for everyone, but it's definitely for some. Buddha points the way to do that work. And Macy and Therese found out that it did work. There's a great quote in the Dhammapada. As irrigators guide water to their fields, as archers aim arrows, as carpenters carve wood, the wise shape their lives. Macy and Therese decided to shape their lives, being on the Buddhist path. And when we do that, peace flows from within outward. We see all that Buddha nature in everything. The journey starts with the 5 precepts: to respect and protect all life, to respect and protect the property of others, to respect and protect sexual boundaries, to respect and protect the truth, right speech, and to respect and protect our sobriety. Oh, geez. Sorry, folks. That's all right. We'll get it together here. I'll turn on the mic. I'll point the mic at myself. We'll get it done. Hopefully you turned up and you heard the talk. But if not, we'll start from here. The 5 precepts. When we follow them, we start to get peace within, and that peace can transfer out. My first Buddhist teacher said that Buddhism is about being happy. You got to think about that for a minute. Really? You mean like I get a new Cadillac happy? No. A better word is content. When we start to do these precepts, when we align ourselves with Buddha nature, we can become content. We start to release attachments to that Cadillac or whatever, that perfect job or even the perfect spouse. We start to unattach from that, even our body, and see it for what it is. So the precepts help us transfer our suffering. And you could say that Macy and Therese assembled a toolbox for themselves to deal with suffering. So we talked about the prostrations is one tool. It helps us develop humility, gratitude, and deals with pride. And when we touch the earth, when we go down and touch the earth, we're realizing that everything is Buddha nature. The journaling brings a focus to our practice. It holds us accountable. I have to write down, well, I didn't feel like meditating today. No, it pushes you forward. It's a great tool. And to reflect on where you've been. We studied the Dharma Pada, and so this is a springboard if you choose to go on to the Bodhisattva class, which will be starting, I think, in January. We'll hear more about that as time goes on. And you can study to become a Dharma teacher, like Kaji Su is studying, or a monk or a senior teacher. Memorization is a neat tool too. If you can get a few of particular reflections in mind, whatever it is, the refuge commitments, Lojong, there's some great reflections. If you can hold on to those, one part of meditation is to bring back that peace that we find on the cushion when we're off the cushion and challenged. So to be able to, that's why we focus on the breath and just take a deep breath with all that tension or whatever's going on. Even just one mindful breath can start to change things. And a memorization can too. It can shift our brains a little bit. Buddha's story became their story, a way out of suffering. And it's amazing when preceptors stick with this program, they transform their suffering. It's an amazing process. Waking up is kind of like having a huge hangover, and you start to see things, and then you kind of go to sleep again, and then you start to see things. It's a process of little awakenings. We all awake for a moment, 2, 3, and then we go back. So it's a process. It's when we talk about, when we recite the refuge vows, we always say at the end, to cultivate this fully. Cultivation is part of the practice. I always say it's not a perfect, it's a practice. So when we cultivate that peace within us, we can spread that out to others. So Therese and Macy have officially decided to follow the Buddhist path. And now, excuse me 1 minute. We will do the ceremony. Excuse me. Get up here. Okay, Macy, if you'd rise. First, do 3 prostrations to your family and friends. Deep bows. And now 3 prostrations to the Sangha. And now imagine Therese is right over there, and do 3 prostrations to Therese. And now 3 prostrations to your teacher. And now I did the short version of the precepts. Thich Nhat Hanh has done a wonderful job of doing the long version of the precepts, which Therese and Macy studied. Every couple of weeks they did a new one. So I'll read the whole one, and it's a little bit long, but try to stick with it. Number 1, aware of the suffering caused by the destruction of life, I am committed to cultivating compassion and learning ways to protect the lives of people, animals, plants, and minerals. I am determined not to kill, not to let others kill, and not to support any act of killing in the world, in my thinking, and in my way of life. Number 2, aware of the suffering caused by the exploitation, social injustice, stealing, and oppression, I am committed to cultivating loving kindness and learning ways to work for the well-being of people, animals, plants, and minerals. I will practice generosity by sharing my time, energy, and material resources with those who are in real need. I am determined not to steal and not to possess anything that should belong to others. I will respect the property of others, but I will prevent others from profiting from human suffering or the suffering of other species in the earth. Number 3, aware of the suffering caused by sexual misconduct, I am committed to cultivating responsibility and learning ways to protect the safety and integrity of individuals, couples, families, and society. I am determined not to engage in sexual relations without love and a long-term commitment. To preserve the happiness of myself and others, I am determined to respect my commitments and the commitments of others. I will do everything in my power to protect children from sexual abuse and to prevent couples and families from being broken by sexual misconduct. Number 4, aware of the suffering caused by unmindful speech and the inability to listen to others, I am committed to cultivating loving speech and deep listening in order to bring joy and happiness to others and relieve others of their suffering. Knowing that words can create happiness or suffering, I am determined to speak truthfully with words that inspire self-confidence, joy, and hope. I will not spread news that I do not know to be certain, and will not criticize or condemn things of which I am not sure. I will refrain from uttering words that cause division or discord, or that cause the family or community to break. I am determined to make all efforts to reconcile and resolve all conflicts, however small. Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful consumption, I am committed to cultivating good health, both physical and mental, for myself, my family, and my society by practicing mindful eating, drinking, and consuming. I will ingest only items that preserve peace and well-being and joy in the body, in my consciousness, and in the collective body and consciousness of my family and society. I am determined not to use alcohol or any other intoxicant, to ingest foods or other items that contain toxins, such as certain TV programs, magazines, books, films, and conversations. I am aware that damage to my body or my consciousness with these poisons is to betray my ancestors, my parents, my society, and further generations. I will work to transform violence, fear, anger, and confusion in myself and in society by practicing a diet for myself and for society. I understand that a proper diet is crucial for self-transformation and the transformation of society. And now we'll say the Gatha of Atonement together. Go ahead. Sure. Go ahead.
For so many lifetimes, I have made mistakes that have brought me such suffering. All of us hold on to internal formations. Sometimes we cannot look at each other. We lose our capacity to listen deeply and to speak loving, harmonious words. The communication between us meets so many difficulties and obstacles, there seems to be no way to resolve our suffering. Every day, understanding and love are fading. With all my resolve, I touch the earth, determined to follow the teachings of Buddha.
Thanks, Mason. Okay. Macy, do you accept the first precept to respect and protect all life?
I do. Do you want me to prove?
Do you accept number 2, to protect and respect the property of others?
I do.
Do you accept number 3, to respect and protect sexual boundaries?
I do.
Do you accept number 4, to respect and protect kind, loving, appropriate speech?
I do.
And number 5, will you protect and respect your sobriety?
I do, and I will.
I'll get you right there. Macy has decided to have her arm burnt with a touch of a lit incense. And this is to signify the seriousness of the commitment that she has undertaken to follow this path and to cultivate the respect and protect of all the 5 precepts. A mala is a meditative tool. It has 108 beads on it, and some people use it just to count so you don't have to count, just a breath every beat, and you'll have 108 at the end. Macy, I know you've been wondering what your Dharma name is.
I have.
It's Shin Su, cultivation of confidence. That's you. And there's three reasons, there's three meanings to a Dharma name. Shin Su, cultivating confidence. So there's the outward meaning and the connection between you and your name. There's the inward meaning, connection to you and your struggle with the meaning of the name. And three is a hidden meaning you discover through cultivating the three refuges. So welcome to this path, Macy.
Thank you.
And now Macy wanted to say a few words about what this process meant to her.
Yes, thank you, Yong Su, and the whole Sangha. I thank everyone for coming out this morning too, taking the time to get everything set up. And I had never been here before. I've been doing everything on Zoom when the class started in September. So I was really excited to come to the temple and see everything. And it's great. So I will be back when things open up. But yeah, I was new to this whole Buddhism, meditating up until about 19 months ago, when I decided to, really change my life and get sober and get in recovery. So I had really gotten into meditation, and it helped my anxiety, and it helped it a lot. So I was curious on this journey of finding myself to learn a little bit more about meditation. So I Googled the Buddhist temple, and here I am in December at the Buddhist temple. But I took the precepts class as a starter just to kind of learn. And it definitely was worth it. I learned a lot. I was surprised at how I had to challenge myself through the course to really be accountable, do my journal, learn different techniques. But all of that has helped me in my day-to-day life. And I can see it. I can see why we do it that way. Everything I learned has, I think Yong Su was talking about earlier, helps me, be at peace and that contentment throughout the day, no matter what's going on around me. So always something to strive for and do better. I that's why I started this journey. I want to continue to look at myself, and that self-awareness is really empowering. So this class has given me a lot of that. And it's funny that my name means to cultivate confidence, because in the beginning of the class, I wasn't sure if I was doing things right, and I was a perfectionist. And if I didn't get the water right or everything in a certain way, I just beat myself up about it. And a lot of the feedback I got from Yong Su and Iggy Su was that it's okay. Like, this is your journey. You do it how you want to do. And that was really reassuring to me. So I continued on, and I learned a lot about myself, and I gained some confidence in it. So I'm really grateful that that's my name, and I will continue to cultivate my confidence and visit the Buddhist temple when I can. Thank you, Yong Su.
You're welcome. Thank you, Macy. Okay. Maybe I'll get this back in. There we go. So, announcements before we do the closing gathas. Anybody? Was there anything, Shane?
Besides the COVID meetings and
Or Kajisu?
I'll talk about the COVID meetings and the morning expression for the numbers.
Oh, yeah. So we have recovery meetings on Mondays and Fridays, one Zoom, one here. There's a lot more information in the newsletters. You should, if you're interested in knowing more about what's going on in the temple, then sign up for the newsletter at zengr.org. The temple will be open again next Sunday, and will continue to be open as long as the board and clergy determine that that's a good idea. So you need to wear masks and be vaccinated. And if you can't be vaccinated for some reason, we really appreciate you joining us on YouTube and Zoom, which we will be doing Zoom after we close the Dharma talk today. Macy and I will go downstairs with a computer and talk to you, whoever's on Zoom. In case you didn't see our newsletter, I'm taking a 3-month leave of absence. This is for my mental health. I have a bipolar condition. Excessive stress can literally be a killer for me. During this time away, my focus will be to reestablish healthy priorities. Some of you may know Shuji. She is a Soto Zen priest who has been a part of our clergy team on and off for a number of years. I will be studying with her to deepen my experience with Zen. I look forward to telling you all about that journey when I return in late March. Excuse me. And now we will close with our gathas. Together we say, for all unskillful action ever committed by me since of old, on account of my beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and thoughts, now I atone for them all. Vast is the robe of compassion, a formless field, a benefaction. I wear the Buddha's teachings for the benefit of all sentient beings. All beings, one body, I vow to liberate. Endless blind passion, I vow to uproot. Dharma gates without number, I vow to penetrate. The great way of Buddha, I vow to attain. Have a great Sunday, Sangha, and join us where we go downstairs for tea. You did it.